You know the feeling. The decision is right in front of you. The information is there. You've thought about it, researched it, turned it over from every angle, and you still can't move. Here's what nobody tells you about that experience. What feels like thoroughness is often something else entirely. And now, research on analysis paralysis is clear that overthinking doesn't lead to better decisions. It leads to worse ones, or no decision at all, which is in its own kind of a decision. And in the meantime, your nervous system is paying the full price of a choice you haven't made yet. I'm Janaya Narvaez. I'm a business professional, counselor, and certified personal trainer. In business, I've seen how analysis paralysis stalls strategy, slows teams, and costs organizations real money and delayed decisions. In clinical practice, I've sat with people who've been frozen in the same decision for months, not because they lack experience or lack intelligence, but because they're using their intelligence against themselves. Today, I want to show you the 3 ways that happens and 5 concrete ways to break out of it. I worked with a professional. Let's call him Alex. Alex had been offered a significant career opportunity. Objectively, it was a good move. His colleagues could see that. His partner could see that. His mentor could see that as well. But Alex had been deciding for 6 weeks. He created 4 spreadsheets, spoken to 11 people, and read every article he could find on career transitions. And every time he got close to a decision, he'd find one more angle to research. When I asked Alex what he was most afraid of, he paused for a moment. Then he said, I think I'm afraid that if I decide and it's wrong, I'll have nobody to blame but myself. That's the real engine underneath most analysis paralysis. It's not about the information. Laura Marr, a lawyer and clinical coach writing for the NC State Bar Pathways to Well-Being, describes it precisely. Analysis paralysis occurs when you overthink something to the point of avoiding a choice, not because more information will help, but because making a choice means owning the outcome. The research identifies 3 distinct traps inside analysis paralysis, and understanding which one has you is the first step to getting out. Trap 1, the perfectionist trap. Marr describes the perfectionist part as wanting results to be risk-free to avoid criticism, regret, or being perceived as a failure. It fuels endless research and second-guessing because as long as you're still researching, you haven't made the wrong choice yet. The perfectionist trap disguises avoidance as diligence. It fuels endless research and second-guessing because as long as you're still researching, you haven't made the wrong choice yet. The perfectionist trap disguises avoidance as diligence. In professional settings, it's particularly insidious because it gets praised. Your boss sees thoroughness, you experience paralysis. The cost is invisible until the deadline passes. Trap 2, the fear trap. Spiegelug's 2025 psychological analysis of analysis paralysis identifies this clearly. The burden of choice isn't just cognitive, it's emotional. When the stakes feel high, the fearful part of us stalls action as a form of self-protection. If you never decide, you can never be wrong. But here's what that part doesn't account for. Not deciding is a decision. It just means the outcome gets chosen for you by time, by default, or by circumstance. The fear of being wrong keeps you from being right. Trap 3, the loop trap. This is the most exhausting one. Marr describes it as endless mental looping, cycling through the same options, the same risks, the same what-ifs, without making progress. The psychology
ใน
here
เชิง
is
เผ่า
that the
นี้
loop
นะคะ
feels like
เคียงซี
thinking,
ดง
but
ชอบ
it's
พองปิ่ง
not.
ตัวเขา
It's
รักคนในปิ่ง
rumination.
นะคะ
And while
และทุ
rumination
ก
is
ทางด้าน
happening,
คิม
your
ค่ะ
body
ใน
is
ช
in
งชงนี่ดง
low-grade
นะคะ
stress. Low-grade stress response, physical tension, shallow breathing, disrupted sleep, irritability. You're paying an energy cost for a decision you haven't made yet. The loop isn't protecting you from a bad outcome, it's creating one in itself. Here's the 5-part playbook for getting unstuck, drawn from clinical research and the internal family systems model that Marr applies to decision making. 1. Recognize and name that you're stuck. Marr's first step is deceptively powerful. The moment you name analysis paralysis out loud, you interrupt the loop. Say it to yourself, I'm in analysis paralysis, and notice what shifts. Naming it separates you from it. You are not the loop. You are the person observing the loop. That gap is where your agency lives. 2. Identify which part is running the show. The IFS model identifies 4 parts that drive analysis paralysis. The ambitious part, perfectionist, fearful, inner critic. Ask yourself, which one has the steering wheel? Ask yourself, which one has the steering wheel right now? Your perfectionist is telling you nothing is good enough. Your fear is telling you waiting is safer. Your inner critic is questioning whether you have what it takes. Identifying the part doesn't eliminate it, but it does stop it from running the show from the shadows. 3, get curious instead of critical. Most of us fight our stuck parts. We tell ourselves we're being ridiculous or weak or inefficient. Mars Clinical Insight is the opposite. Approach each part with genuine curiosity about what it's protecting you from. Ask the perfectionist, how are you trying to help me here? Ask the fear, what are you most concerned about? This isn't therapy speak. It's a genuinely different way of engaging your own mind, one that relaxes the grip of the paralysis that's tightening it. 4. Okay. 4. Reassure the parts and negotiate a next step. Once you've listened, offer reassurance. Tell the perfectionist this doesn't need to be perfect, just good enough to move on. Tell the fear, I can handle being wrong. It's okay. I've handled it before. Then negotiate a small next step. Not the final decision. Then negotiate a small next step. Not the final decision, just the very next step. Alex didn't need to accept the job offer. He needed to schedule one more conversation with the hiring manager. That was the step. The rest became clearer from there. 5. Set decision deadline and honor it. 5. Set a decision deadline and honor it. From both a business and clinical standpoint, open-ended decisions are the enemy of moving forward. Spiegel's research on burden of choice shows that more options and more time don't produce better decisions. They produce more anxiety. Give yourself a hard deadline. By Thursday at noon, I will have made this call. Write it down. Tell someone the deadline doesn't force the wrong answer. It forces the answer and a real decision, even on imperfect one. And a real decision, even an imperfect one, gives you information that no amount of analysis ever will. Analysis paralysis isn't a flaw in your thinking. It's a sign that your mind is taking the decision very seriously. And that same part of you is trying in its own way to protect you. The goal isn't to stop caring about outcomes. It's to stop letting the care about outcomes prevent you from creating any at all. A good decision made is better than a perfect decision imagined every time, because the decision to A good decision made is better than a perfect decision imagined every time, because the made decision teaches you something. The imagined one just keeps you up at night. If you're currently stuck in a decision, personally or professionally, and you want help working through the parts that are keeping you there, book a consultation through the link below. And tell me in the comments, what decision have you been circling? What decision have you been circling? Name it. That's step 1. If this changed the way you think about yourself and your value in this AI era, and if you want a practical guide to overcome the pitfalls of analysis paralysis every day, click the link below to get your action plan. Let's continue this journey together, and I'll see you in the next video.